So this past fall, 3 of us from the mission Cincinnati traveled to North Carolina to attend the new Wineskins missionary conference. One of the things I've really loved about being Anglican is that we are a global family with great diversity. I have served in this province with many different folks along the way, and so it was such a great joy to be with people who have walked with me through various decades of my life. It was like a big family reunion. The New Wineskins Missionary Network has been around for about 50 years, and this conference has been happening for about 30 years now, every 3 years.
I grew up very involved in missions, and I was a missionary in Japan for a few years as an adult. But when Kristen invited me to attend the New Wineskins conference, what I was most interested in was the emphasis on the arts. I'm a director and a designer, and I'm new to Anglicanism. So I was really interested to meet more people in the global Anglican community and hear what they had to say about the arts.
Soon after I became a Christian in college, God gave me a heart for the nations. I even got my bachelor's degree in missions and taught in China for 6 years. But since then, I feel like I've gotten comfortable here in the U.S. and it's easy to kind of forget about the outside world sometimes. I felt drawn to go to New Wineskins when I first heard about it, to reawaken that call to missions and to open my eyes again to the fact that God's kingdom is alive and well, not only in the U.S., but all around the world.
One story that stood out was about a church that was located in kind of a rough area with a lot of tattoo parlors, and they decided they wanted to do a photography show showcasing local people's tattoos and the stories behind them. So they went around and photographed people's tattoos and interviewed them to get the stories behind them, and then put on a photography show in the tattoo parlor and invited people from the community and from their church. It was just a really cool way to bridge the gap between their congregation and local people around them.
So one of the themes that kept coming up for me at the conference was hearing so many testimonies of people and missionaries living in such harsh circumstances, in some places being persecuted for so many years, yet they had such joy and exuberance in the Lord. One particular story was of a Muslim who converted to Christianity, and it caused his family to disown him. They even held a funeral for him and said that he was dead to them. They bought a headstone and everything. One day he visited that grave and saw his own headstone and heard God's voice comforting him, saying, "Don't worry, this grave is empty, and so is mine." It gave him a newfound faith to live the Christian life in God's strength and not his own.
Whether it was art therapy for girls who've been rescued from trafficking, or art shows or theatrical productions, it was really cool to hear the different ways that Anglican congregations are using the arts to strengthen their own communities and their relationship with the community around them.
I'd love to see our congregation become a bit more connected with others around the globe through relationships, possible mission trips, through a larger team going to New Wineskins in a couple of years. When I connect with others from around the world, I have my perspective shifted. Our global brothers and sisters often have to make so many sacrifices and undergo many more risks than we do to be faithful to Jesus. And when I hear their stories, I'm challenged to recognize the sacrifices I might need to take to follow Jesus.
Every Christian is called to be a world Christian and witness, and God's plan has always been global. God calls us to begin where we are with our family. I don't know what that looks like in my life, but it was a call to return to Jesus with my inadequacies, to pray for his boldness and strength and love, to be his witness where I'm at.